Well, now I want to turn to Gary Shergold, who is building his machine shop.
Hello, Jim. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, Gary. How about yourself?
Very good. Okay, phase 2 of the CN machine shop. We're going to talk about the front doors, and we're going to talk about roof construction and finishing. So what I did was I measured the door opening that was on the front wall, and it came out 9 feet by 16 feet. And I assembled my lumber. Everything is board by board construction. I built the frame, as you will see here. Frame was built. And then I built the doors to fit inside. Now, on the big doors of a building, in the wintertime, you don't want to be opening them all the time because it's cold. So I added this little entrance doorway, which would be prototypical, and the men can go in and out of that without opening the doors. Now, the doors were hinged by drilling small holes on the bottom of each of the door frames and pins put in the bottom and pins dropped in the top so that these doors will open. Now, as you can see, they're all board by board, and then the framing put in. The whole thing was sanded to blend everything together. And those are the doors showing that they do open and they do swing and close. And that's the installation. You can just see the little pins right here as you look through the cracks. And then that whole structure was mounted on the front of the building. Then what I did was, again, here is another photo showing the doors on the building. I then mounted the roof. Little pins go into the wall, as you see here. And I cut these off. Mounted the roof where I wanted it to go. And then I got some scribed siding. This is very thin and very tiny scribed wood. And to accentuate it, I drew lines. So you can see these little boards in between each one, and then a heavy pencil line. So you can see them marked off here. And then, of course, I drew these lines. And there's both panels, which will go on and over the roof that are finished. And you can see one panel's already been placed on top of the roof. And this panel is going to fit on top. And this is underneath so that when you look, well, you'll see later. So the panels were glued in place. And this is the under part of the roof. So these lines sort of accentuate and give a little feeling that there are large plank boards up there. So then what I did was I took cardstock. Now this is old filing cardboard using for in your filing cabinets. And I used pinking shears and I start cutting these. And what you cut off quite a lot. And then what I do is I start gluing them individually until you can see the back part of the roof is finished here. And I just work these all the way up. Once they're worked up, then I take a nice sharp knife and cut this off so everything's nice and even. And put a little cap on top. And this is what the roof looks like. So you end up with a nice slate roof. It's a nice effect. And I use this on a lot of the buildings that I scratch built. Now what I did was took individual boards and I started putting the planks on, as you can see, from center out and center out until this was all completely covered. Now these are left a little bit long and a little bit short because I wanted to, as you'll see later on in the series, I wanted these to look like they've been there for a while and the sort of the bottoms are sort of wearing away or rotting away. And then there's the finished product on one side and the same as on the other side. So this is all ready for painting now. And if we flip it over, you can see a little bit of overhang of the slate and the bottoms that I was talking about. And then, of course, when you look underneath, you can see the lines, which give the effect of some nice long boards under there. And that is the end of phase 2. And next, phase 3 will be finishing the interior and working on the exterior walls. And that is it for this week, Jim.
Sounds good. Gary, thank you so very much. Look forward to next week.
You're very welcome, and I thank you.